Welcome back. The Gift Nifty is suggesting a negative start. So after losing nearly 160 points, 170 points yesterday, the implied open suggests another 150-point downtick. But let's get to the stocks. Our research team is standing by with CNBC TV18's list of top stocks for the day. And first up, it's Abhishek joining in on banks. Abhishek.
Well, RBI has given out their FSR, that is a feasibility study report that they have seen. They have mentioned that banks have strong profitability, declining NPAs and sufficient capital adequacy ratio and liquidity buffers as well. So the return on asset and return on equity are at decadal high, with gross NPA being at decadal low or a 12-year low. So NBFCs remain healthy with sizable capital buffers, a robust interest margin, that is net interest margin, as well as earnings and improving asset quality. Both are augmenting well for them. Provision coverage ratio stands at 77% as of September 2024. The key worry that they have cited in their FSR is that nearly half the borrowers availing credit and personal loans have also another retail loan which is of the higher ticket size, like housing loans or vehicle loans to say. So this is an area of concern, and also another area of concern is the high write-off seen in the private sector banks. So this could be partially masking the underwriting standards that private banks have. Just to highlight our viewers, much of the write-offs that have happened over the last 2 quarters for private banks is in unsecured portfolio like microfinance, credit card and personal loan, where the recovery rate is really low and you cannot have recovery over there. Back to you.
Point taken, Abhishek. Extremely well summarized that those are specifically the fears of the Reserve Bank, the high write-offs and the higher rate of NPAs in unsecured loans. Overall, GNPA is not much, but in that there is an overwhelming share of unsecured loans going bad, and that's the Reserve Bank's only worry. But I want to once again stress that this is a stress test report, so all the numbers should not be taken as negative news. These are scenarios. If these negative things happened, then things could go bad. But I take Abhishek's point entirely on the write-offs and the unsecured loans. Well, let's go to Vivek. You have news on Hindalco, Vivek.
That's right. Good morning. Hindalco is in focus. The company has received allotment from the government. This is for the Meenakshi coal mine in Odisha. Meenakshi coal mine, remember, is a fully explored block with a peak rated capacity of close to 12 million tons per annum, and it has a geological reserves of up to 285 metric tons. Now, what is it that the company is saying, which is positive news? They say that the allocation of coal mine rights actually aligns with the company's strategy to reduce operating costs and also boost energy self-sufficiency. This will also help reduce the dependence that the company currently has on auction as well as linkage coal, which is almost 40% higher than Meenakshi coal mine. So overall, a positive development with the allotment of the Meenakshi coal mine as far as Hindalco is concerned.
Thank you very much for that. There's an important news and update coming through on Lupin. Vinny joins in for more on that, and even on ITC. Vinny.
Good morning. So yes, Lupin, couple of news flows that we're seeing coming in. One, yesterday there was an announcement that came in that Lupin has acquired an anti-diabetic medicine, Hamacillin, which is from Eli Lilly. It is for the India business. Now this becomes a good addition to the diabetes portfolio. It's for the treatment of type 1 as well as type 2 diabetes to improve blood sugar controls. Now, obviously, do not forget, Lupin's diabetes portfolio has grown 19% in Q2 FY25 on a year-on-year basis versus the industry, which grew at around 9%. So yes, an improvement in terms of the portfolio. Other than that, Lupin, one more news flow has come in because there was a case that was going on between Teva as well as Amneal in the US court, where they had filed a petition now for en banca hearing of this case. Means all the judges will hear this case together. This means that there is going to be a delay in terms of a launch coming in from Amneal in terms of their drug, which was GoPro Air, which was expected to be launched somewhere in Q4 FY25, around that level, around that time. So now this delay turns out to be a positive for Lupin, because that means that the sales that are coming in for them for this drug still continues, and the decline that analysts were expecting from this drug will maybe get delayed. So a positive on that front for Lupin. Other than that, we have ITC that's going to be in focus, and we're expecting green here as well, because ITC Hotels demerger, the X date is going to be 6th of Jan 2025, while books are going to be separated from 1st of Jan, that's tomorrow. So keep an eye out on this, because one shareholder of ITC 10 shares, if they're holding in ITC, will get 1 share of ITC Hotels. This is going to be expected to take place, the listing of ITC Hotels, within 60 days from now on, from the NCLT order. And Hotels arm will also receive 1,500 crore rupees cash in this demerger to continue their business, as well as there's going to be a division in terms of properties. But 6 Jan is the record date where we will see X of ITC Hotel, that ITC will start trading in terms of shares.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Vinny. You know, ITC is going to be the talking point today. Because you look at the way Indian Hotels is done.
Yeah.
So if ITC Hotels is going to bank on that, even if it does even 90% of that or 80% of that, you have a winner. Part and gave it separately, it will probably fly. That would be expectations, and that for the till they reach 200 or something. It's like fairly aggressive plans. So I think the stock of the day. Let's get to the another big stock of the day. Reasons EaseMyTrip. Vivek is going to tell you all the news in that stock.
Well, that's right. So EaseMyTrip is in focus. Now, as per the term sheet that CNBC-TV18 sourced, what we understand is that one of the promoters, Nishant Pitti, remember, he had earlier sold close to 14% stake in September. Now, once again, we understand that he's looking to sell close to 14% stake. This particular stake sale is likely to be done via the block deal. And we also understand that this particular size of the block deal is at close to 780 crore. What is slightly concerning, the floor price 15.6 rupees a share, almost a 9% discount. This comes immediately on the heels of the September stake sale. Also remember, today being the last day of the quarter, this also is the day in which the insiders can actually go ahead and sell their shares. So that's also one thing that we need to keep in mind. So overall, 50 crore shares that will be sold. 15.6 rupees a share is the base price at which the deal is likely to take place. And remember, last time after this particular deal took place, the stock saw quite a bit of a sharp negative reaction, a bit of a bounce the next day, and again hit 2 lower circles. It will be interesting to see how EaseMyTrip behaves if this particular block deal goes through.
Thank you very much for that. That'll be the other stock of the day. And Upasana joins in for some more news. Upasana.
Good morning. First up, let me start with Mazagon dock. Now, Ministry of Defence has signed a contract valued at 1,990 crores with the company, which is basically for the construction of air-independent propulsion system, that is AIP system, which is mainly technology that allows submarines to stay underwater for longer. Now, this AIP system was built by DRDO and the units will be built by Mazagon dock. Now, next up is RVNL. Even this stock will remain in focus on the back of the order win. The company bags 137 crore order from Central Railway for Bhusawal Khandwa project. Hence, even this stock will be in focus. And lastly, Shriram Properties is also on our radar as the company announced strategic sale of 3.9 crore land parcel in Chennai to a prominent healthcare and educational group in South India. Also, the company signed an agreement for divestment of securities held in its arm, that is SPL Shelters, for 93 crores. Hence, all these stocks will remain on our radar today.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thank you very much, Upasana, for giving us a brief on so many stocks. But there are 2 more stocks that should be on your radar, is what Manisha Gupta thinks. Manisha, tell us, why should we be watching ONGC and OIL India?
Oh, well, yes, because the crude oil prices have continued to gain in the last couple of days, with thin trades and last few hours as we finish 2024. But even with that, the price moves clearly have been exaggerated. We are headed for a very small annual decline when it comes to the crude oil prices. 0.5% down for WTI and 2.5% down for Brent is how this year seems to be closing as of now. But with the overnight gains, we've gained up a bit of a ground. We are trading at a 5-week highs right now. The crude prices have gained up by 5% in the last 1 month as well. The support comes in from 3 factors. One, there is decline in the U.S. inventories. Second, there is colder weather in U.S. and Europe, and there is forecast of colder weather as well. So that means the natural gas, the crude oil product, will see higher demand. Third, the market is looking at hopes of economic stimulus coming in from China. So these are the 3 factors that seem to be supporting crude oil prices right now. So we are back above 71 for WTI and 74 is holding for Brent as well.
Thank you very much for that. A quick recap then of the top stocks. Stocks with positive news flow are Hindalco, Lupin, ITC, Mazagon Docks, RVNL, Shriram Properties, ONGC, Oil India. Stocks with negative news flow are banks and EasyTrip planners. We will slip into a break. On the other side, we'll invite Amnish Agarwal, Head of Research at Prabhudas Leeladhar, for some fundamental stock analysis. Stay tuned.